Hope you're having a good summer, or if it's September already, hope you've had a good summer. I'm going to explain quickly what we need to do next for DigiPlace. Just to be clear, there's no requirement to do anything in August if you're watching this during the summer. You can obviously start to get ahead if you want to, do a bit of work, but if not, that's fine. We don't need to pick this up until after the summer. All the information and documentation of what we need is in the DigiPlace Google Drive folders and on the YouTube channel, and there's links to both of those down in the description, the video description. The next things we need to do are first is around consolidating our ULG, our local groups. So that's about getting them defined and up and running fully, if we haven't done so already. So exactly how you do that, for the most part, is up to you. There are a couple of things to consider, though. First is the ULG checklist, which I've shared. Simple list of prompts and questions to help you reflect. Use that to self-assess whether you have covered all the necessary things for doing a best practice ULG and running it in the right way. Linked to this are the terms of reference for your ULG, and these do need to be documented. And these just describe the agreed protocols and structure for your ULG and so on, how it's going to work. I've shared a list of headings as a template for ULG terms of reference, or TOR, as I've often abbreviated it. We don't need to have a set format for our terms of reference, and the headings are a guide, but if you aren't going to include certain points from those headings, you just need to consider and ask yourselves why you don't need to include that, and be comfortable with the answer. I've done an example terms of reference document as well, using those headings to give you an idea of what it could look like. So if you don't have your own format, you can use that. Use it as a template if you wish, or create your own. Just make sure it includes all the relevant information. So in the Google Drive folder that I mentioned, there are all the documentation and explanations to help with this. In particular for the ULG, there's a PDF in there called ULG Tasks, which explains all of what I've just talked about more fully. So check that out before you do the terms of reference and so on. The other thing we need to consider is the IAP roadmap. There's a folder again on the Google Drive with all the content for that too, and again, links are down there. There's a file in there called Index of Documents that just sets out what's in the road mapping document, road mapping folder, sorry. So just you read that through, because it just explains what all the different pieces are, so you don't have to search through and try and make sense of it yourself. As we talked about previously, the two parts of the IAP roadmap are the the roadmap timeline and the roadmap detail table. I've moved from calling it an outline table to a detail table just because it varies the description slightly and is a bit more accurate. So the table is in a Word document, and in the folder there's a blank template for that, and also a completed example, so you can get an idea of what it could look like. I've amended that a little bit since last shared it, just because when I went through and produced the example, I realized it was probably a bit complex, so I've simplified it down to work a little bit better. The timeline that goes with it is in Miro. It's quite straightforward to create it in there, but I have done an explainer video that goes through the process step by step. So if you're not sure about it, you can check that out. It might look like a long video, it's about 25 minutes, but that is me going through step by step how you create your whole first version of your IAP timeline. That takes sort of 20 to 30 minutes, and you'll get the basic stuff done. It also gives you a lot of the core content that you can use in your own timeline, the key milestones and so on. So it's worth spending the time on that, rather than an hour and a half picking through it without knowing exactly how to approach it. The final reminder is just about completing the doodle poll to make sure we can book in our individual sessions for September. So if you haven't done that yet, please do so. Also to make sure that you have the URBACT eUniversity sessions in the diary for anyone from those people from your city that are going to be attending that. And equally that you've got our next DigiPlace session in the diary, which is on the morning of the 8th of September. Details about all of those things have already been shared previously on email and Slack, so you've got all the information for that already. So that's all for now. In the meantime, I wish you all a very enjoyable summer, and I look forward to seeing you all and working with you all again in September.